All right. Give me a replay, gang, if you're watching a replay. My name's Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach. I'm a self-esteem development expert. And I'm reporting to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. But more importantly than that, I'm coming to you from a different state of mind. Our whole vibe is helping you go further, faster, with less effort, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You know, my man Kerman tells me that a lot of what we teach is even good for PTSD, all kinds of other stuff. But we call it millionaire minded, man, because at the end of the day, you've got to become that in your mind before you'll become that in your bank account. You know what I mean? And we just use the money as a way to gauge your progress. Like, how far are you getting? And if you ask us, the whole play, right, is for you to make small improvements every single day that before you know it equal massive returns. So we've got something that we call a technique of the week. I want to share this with you because every week we do one. And if you're rolling with us in this 90-day challenge, then it's required that you try something new. We're forcing you out of your comfort zone. So here it goes. Call up somebody you love and be like, after you exchange pleasantries, you say, hey, listen, I've been working on a project. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I've been told I'm not that good at sharing what I do, and I should be helping way more people. But listen, do you know anybody with 2 jobs who might be looking to get rid of one of them? All they can do is say no, yeah, or heck yeah, me. Hey, good morning. Here we go. Make sure you're checking in. So that's your technique of the week. All they can do is say no, or they're going to say yeah, or they're going to say heck yeah, me. What is this about? Once they start asking you what it's about, all you do is say, oh, man, listen, I'd confuse us both if I tried to explain right now. But check it out. We can talk at 6 tonight or 8 tonight. What works better for you, right? We call that 2 alternative choices. That's what you do next. You give them 2 alternative choices. And then what that does is that avoids helping you look crazy when you say, well, let's talk at 6 p.m. tonight. And they're like, well, I have a PTA meeting. Well, let's talk at 6:01. Let's talk at 7. Oh, I'm going to be eating dinner. Let's talk at 8. Next thing you know, you sounding like you ain't got nothing to do, which is hella unattractive, and nobody wants to hang out with you because you seem bored and like you ain't got nothing cracking. All right, everybody checking in. There she is. I was wondering where you was, Allie. Let's get it. I was wondering where you was, Allie. All right. Yeah. Let them know where you from. Let them know where you from. Yeah. Let's go. Share this with an entrepreneur you love, man. Y'all know how we do it. We all about mindset, skill set, and heart set, right? And really, I said that wrong. Mindset, skill set, and heart set. All right. So we getting this party started. Dr. Tim's in the house. Hey, Queen, we got consumer financing for your courses and classes now. I mean, you probably charge $2,000 for something, and people don't be having $2,000. So you say, well, just give me $500. Nah. Do some consumer financing so they can just pay that off the next 7 years. There's no early payoff penalties, but you get your money immediately. It's amazing, Dr. Tim's. So all them speakers and authors, you know, we can get them paid. I'm going to call in on this live line. What's up, Imani? My man Brian in the house. Okay, we about to get this party started. Share this with an entrepreneur, you know. This is going to be a good one for my leaders, you know. Any leaders out there?
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you.
Please enter your...
You got to love it.
Thank you. Please announce yourself.
We're going to bring the millionaire out.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali, and I just want to remind you that you become a millionaire in your mind first. All the affirmations we say every single morning are the same affirmations I was saying when I was sleeping in my car. Do you hear me? I am literally sitting here as proof that the devil is a liar. You hear me? But we just getting started, baby. This morning we talking about leadership. I think that it's important to talk about leadership because a lot of times what we do, right, is we consider the horrible leaders that we've met to always be somebody else. You know, it's very few of us that will admit that we've been a hero, that we've been a horrible leader at some point in our life. Oh, you might haven't run a Girl Scout troop yet, or you may have not run your PTA organization, but maybe you were put in charge of a project. Maybe you're in a network marketing business. We've all had horrible leaders. If you've ever had a horrible leader, can I see that in the comments? Horrible leaders, right? There's a movie called Horrible Bosses. Who's ever experienced this? Okay, my man David Witherspoon is in the house. Yeah, tell him, Allie. If you've ever had a horrible leader, let me see it in the comments. Most of us have had horrible bosses or horrible leadership at some point in our careers or at some point in our lives on this journey up the mountain, right? But if we're being honest, can we all admit at some point we've been a horrible leader? We've been a horrible leader? Because the truth is, y'all, that whether you've seen it or whether you've been it, it came from insecurity. A lot of times this insecurity is what jacks people up as leaders. All leaders have insecurities, whether they want to admit it or not. But this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 5 negative habits of insecure leadership. You ready for this? 5 negative habits of insecure leadership. Bottom line is that we all have insecurities, but leaders don't have the same luxuries. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Leaders don't have the same luxuries, right? The bigger your vision gets, the less time you have for pettiness. Is that a fact? Good leaders want to do well for their people. Good leaders want to step the whole organization up. Good leaders are haunted by thoughts like, what if I'm not making the right decision for my team? What if I'm not making the right decision for my employees? What if this idea doesn't work? But when you're talking about a poor leader, the insecurities come from a personal level. They're not worried about what if this ain't the right thing for my team. That's not what's haunting them at night. What's haunting them at night is, what if everybody, finds out I'm not perfect? That's different, y'all. But what happens is managers and leaders and bosses who have low self-awareness, they take the impact of personal challenges and they project it onto the people around them. Can I get a witness? Share this with a leader, y'all. We're about to get into some things that are going to raise your awareness, because awareness is the first step to change. I want to help you raise your awareness. Here at Millionaire Minded, our whole vibe ain't telling you what to think. Our whole vibe is showing you how to think. We're reminding ourselves how to look, because a lot of this stuff is about perspective. The ultimate outcome of you not taking ownership of your insecurities is that you begin to project them onto other people. You think they don't exist because you won't take ownership of them. It's always the other person. It's always the other guy. It's always the other girl. It's the equivalent of packing up all your insecurities in your purse or in your briefcase and bringing them with you everywhere you go. You're now a bag lady. You're now a bag man. That's what I should have played this morning. Not that Nas, I Know I Can. I should have gave him that Erykah Badu, bag lady. So I'm going to give you these 5. I want you to look at it in the people around you. I want you to look at it in yourself. The first one is bullying. Somebody give it to me. Number 1 is bullying. Leaders don't have the same luxuries, y'all. That's a fact. Appreciate that, kings and queens. Appreciate that. Leaders don't have the same luxuries. That's a fact. Charlotte, check it in. Mama Mahasan up in here. Leaders ain't got the same luxuries. That's right. That's right. Bullying. That's where we going first. All right. Here's what we mean by bullying. Insecure leaders, man, they always got to get themselves looking bigger by making you look smaller, right? I'm going to tell you how bullying normally manifests with insecure leaders. It's like they're inappropriately harsh, right? Inappropriately harsh in a public meeting towards the team or towards employees. I'm going to tell you what bullies love doing. Bullies love escalating employee mistakes into public hangings. Bullies love taking this little thing they caught you doing wrong and making that a big. Now they CCing everybody, right? Now they're condemning you through email. Now they're calling you out in meetings. We ain't talking about accountability. We're talking about bullying. You ever experienced that? Have you ever done that? I'm asking for honesty. The truth will set you free. And then we got justifications, right? What be our justification for this stuff? This is what it takes to get the job done. You know, people don't respond to weakness. Some managers, some leaders, some bosses believe that making an example of an employee is going to get the rest of the team stepping it up. They think that's going to make the rest of the team, that's going to encourage them to do better. I'm going to tell you what studies show. Studies show that this public humiliation has the opposite effect. Watching our colleagues publicly suffer does nothing but demoralize us and makes us more scared to speak up. Now it's like, well, we ain't going to take a risk and suggest an idea because we don't want to get, ripped apart at the seams. Another thing is that when you see somebody bullying or when you feel yourself bullying as a leader, it's a power trip going on. Share this with a leader, y'all. Share this with a leader that understands that the leader doesn't feel like he or she is in control of other people. The leader feels like he or she is in control of themselves. But this bully we're talking about, when they don't feel in control, they try to take someone down a peg to show their dominance. They're trying to get their leadership from their position instead of their disposition. Am I making sense? If you're feeling me, somebody say leadership is a disposition, not a title. Leadership ain't a position, it's a disposition. And then give me a share. Give me a share. Yeah, let's get it. That's absolutely right. That's exactly what it does. That's exactly what it does. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Leadership ain't a position. It's a disposition. Here's the second habit. This weekend in the Kaizen Academy, we're just going to talk about habits. Habits are these things that your brain institutes so that you conserve energy. I want you to watch it before some of this habit, some of these habitual activities, these habitual thought patterns that we have start to become our destiny. Because that's what happens with habits. Habits either make success in this area inevitable, or habits make failure in this area inevitable. Am I making sense to somebody? Here's number two, y'all. Here's number two, y'all. Being a know-it-all. Being a know-it-all. Being a know-it-all, y'all. That's another one that comes from insecurity. Being a know-it-all. Can I get a witness? Being a know-it-all. When you see that the attitude right there is superiority, right? This manager or this leader or this boss has all the answers and wants everybody to know it. I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. At the point I got answers that can't be questioned, I'm a know-it-all. You hear me? Every time I come to a conclusion, it's a little mini death. A little part of me dies off because at this point I can't grow anymore. Either you knowing or you growing. You hear me? And either you're growing or you're dying. But these know-it-all bosses, They take it to the toxic level where all of a sudden they remove decision-making from their team. They remove autonomy from the hands of the people that are supposed to be expanding their impact. Millionaires, part of a leader's role is to help your staff, to help the team that you've been entrusted with, to help the people that had given you the gift of influence over their lives to grow and develop. That's part of your role. But the know-it-all is never going to accomplish this task, because employees whose opinions, employees whose ideas, employees whose decisions are habitually squashed are eventually going to check out. Those are the ones that eventually become complacent, or they just start looking for somewhere else to work. But when you're insecure in this area, what happens is you feel threatened in your new position. Maybe you're trying to prove yourself as some kind of new manager. Maybe you're trying to prevent the title or this new authority from being taken away. So you try to project it like you know everything. But let me tell you a secret. If you're a leader and you constantly got to fight for your authority, you ain't got no authority. Ain't no control over nobody else. That's impossible. All you can control is your level of preparation. All you can control is your level of awareness. All you can control is your level of intensity and focus and concentration. All you can do is control your level of empathy for the client you're dealing with, your level of empathy for the boss whose big vision you're serving, your level of empathy for the people that you're dealing with in the workplace. This is what you have control over, not the actions of other people. Can I get a witness? If you're ready, then give me you have control over yourself, not others. Somebody give me that in the comments. I control myself, not others. I control myself, not others. I'm in control of myself, not others. Here's the third one I got for y'all. Lack of response. Lack of response. This is another negative habit of insecure leadership. Lack of response. Now, nobody's telling you to be accessible all the time. Nobody's pretending that you should pay your cell phone bill for other people's convenience, because that's not what we do. I got that from my brother. My brother be like, man, I don't pay my cell phone bill for your convenience. I pay my cell phone bill for my convenience. But what I'm saying is, lack of response, though, is a negative habit of insecure leadership, because when that leader ain't replying to requests or completely ignoring the situation, that's right. I control myself, not others. You have control over yourself, not others. Yeah. Better late than never, Shantae. So where we at is lack of response. Lack of response. That's right, Dennis. Check yourself or wreck yourself. Control yourself or power with no control is chaos. All right, but what are we talking about with this third habit of insecure leadership, right? This is when the leader don't reply to requests. This is when the leader doesn't pay attention to the situation because they're trying to avoid revealing inexperience. They're trying to keep you from knowing they don't know it all. They don't want to be exposed as ignorant. So it's kind of tied into number 2, right? But I'm just showing you where this insecurity comes from. There's only love or fear, y'all. There's only love or fear. Those are the 2 root emotions. There's love, right? And then there's fear. All these negative insecurities are coming from fear. This lack of response is somebody don't want to be seen as ignorant. And this type of insecurity you'll see when there's some new technology that's popping up, right? Or there's some project that's popping up that's going to require some additional skills. Or when you're dealing with employees who are hella smart, they hella capable, and now you feel a little bit, you know what I mean, challenged. Leaders who don't feel comfortable with themselves, right? Leaders that don't feel comfortable with their level of expertise. Leaders who don't feel comfortable, check this out, with their level of limitation. They're going to be threatened by employees who are nice at what they do. They're going to be threatened by employees who know more than they do about a certain area. They're going to be threatened by employees where their lack of expertise is more evident. But let me tell you what you need to do. You need to be thinking like a boss. Listen to me. Leadership is a way different skill than knowing something. Leading and knowing are two different things. You don't have to be the expert at everything to be a leader. As a matter of fact, you're probably the leader if you understand how to spot people who are experts. You just got to know how to get the results out of people. You hear me? It's a famous story from Andrew Carnegie, man. They was trying to play him in some court hearing he was in. And it was like, I guess the lawyer's all smart and, you know, academic and all of that. And he's asking him, sir, do you even know the capital of some state or something like that? And Carnegie was like, my man, you know, I may not know the capital of that state, but I got a button on my desk that if I push it, 3 men will run into my office that can tell me not only the capital of any state in this country, but anything else I want to know. What was the point of that exchange? That millionaires, when you're a leader, you know how to make 1 + 1 = 11. You see what I'm saying? Managing is completely different from being a know-it-all. You don't have to know it all. What you got to do is know them all. Give me a number 4 and a share. Give me a number 4 and a share. Yeah, Mama Mahasa. You know what I'm saying? Wifey love it to be frigid, man. So it'd be like 30 degrees. So all right, let's get it. All right, let's get it. Here's number 4, y'all. Give me a number 4 and a share. Appreciate the shares, y'all. Sharing is caring. It could be fun. Anybody remember that Gushers commercial? All right, anyway, here's number 4, micromanaging. This is another negative habit of leadership. I got 2 more for you, and then we out of here. We about to go do our affirmations. Micromanaging, y'all. This is the leader who's always looking over your shoulder. They're making all these reviews on the minutia. They are activity directed instead of mission directed, right? It's how you're doing it. I don't care how you do it. Just get it done. Just get it done. Because what I know is that there's more than one way to skin a cat. What I know is that flexibility is a key attribute of massively effective leadership. And if I'm sitting around micromanaging all the trivia, if I'm taking the projects out of people's hands, if I'm simply making employees feel useless at every turn, all I'm doing is destroying the organization. Man, I'm going to tell you, the opposite of micromanaging is where you want to be. What I love to do is when one of the team complains, when any employee complains, I've been a boss a long time, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. One thing I learned a long time ago is people are not hanging around for the money. Money always ranks really low on people's motivation for why they're sticking with a project or a job. Check this out, y'all. People stick around because that's their baby. That's what makes people stick around. How they going to leave their baby? Right? But what you're doing when you're micromanaging is you making them feel like a babysitter. You're not making them feel like a parent. All right, let me break this down. What I'm saying is the more ownership you can give your team and the project, the more their self-image, their honor, their sense of duty, their sense of who they are is tied into this thing that we're building. Do you hear me? But when you're micromanaging, instead, you make it more like, oh, I can't wait to get back to my own life where I'm respected, where I'm honored, where people care about what I say or what my opinions are. Here it's like, oh God, I'm just some automaton doing it, everything for my boss and I have no life. You know what I mean? People be in hell. What I'm saying is all that's driven by inflated ego. Nobody can do it as well as she can. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. No, if you want something done right, you got to be a better teacher. Millionaires, a leader cannot achieve success on a project if they keep on stepping in to shepherd or do the work. It's not going to be true success, because the work always works, because it's always two different things it's doing. It's the work you're doing on the project, and it's the work the project's doing on you. Millionaires, you've got to let people get their blessing. Somebody come to me and complain about some area that's going on. 7 or 8 times out of 10, I'm going to put them in charge of fixing it, because they're obviously passionate about it. They've obviously raised their awareness level to the point where they notice when it's going on. You hear me? All I'm saying to you is that, millionaires, you have to get to a place where you're free to let go and let God. You hear me? Yeah, sometimes somebody might get promoted a little bit early. They're a little bit out of their comfort zone. Some star employee gets promoted to a new leadership position, but she's got technical expertise, not management expertise, so it ends up jacking her up, right? So what does she do? She defaults to using her knowledge as a crutch. She's like, I might not know how to handle people, but I know how to handle these numbers, right? When the real work she should be doing is managing her people to success, creating more leaders. All I'm saying to you is that the harsh truth is that if you ain't competent at getting the results through the skills of the people around you, you're not a leader yet. You ain't a leader yet. Somebody say leaders get it done with their people. Leaders get it done with their people. And then give me a share. Leaders get it done with their people. And then give me a share. Yeah, Smitty, we glad you're here. Leaders get it done with their people. That's right, Allie. Let God and let go. Let God and let go. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, this is the last one I got for you, y'all. This is the last negative trait of insecure leadership. What's up, Felicia? It's my girl right there. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. Tell him, Terry. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. That's the anthem of the poor. Here's the last one I got for you, y'all. Here's the last one I got for you. Thank you for those shares, man. The universe gives to the givers and takes from the takers. Last one I got for you, number 5, is avoidance. Avoidance, y'all. This behavior always seems to center on fear of the unknown, right? Whether it's that new leader who feels like they're in over their head, right? And can't really make difficult decisions all of a sudden, right? Avoidance is a common expression of insecurity, right? It's when you see somebody dealing with endless procrastination, right? They won't commit to bold goals, right? They're avoiding, circumventing performance reviews, right? They avoid letting horrible team members go because maybe they have knowledge of the past or something. They've got institutional knowledge. And so now you don't want to let them freaking go. Check this out. Operating from a place of fear is always going to jack you up. Leaders who operate from fear rather than love. Somebody give me this in the comments. You only got love and fear, and give me a share. You only got love and fear. How you're interacting with people is either coming from love or fear. How you're approaching the mission that you've been given is either coming from love or fear. And all I'm telling you is that if you're operating from fear, you're never going to make the best decisions for your team. You're never going to get the best out of your organization. Oh, it'll look the same if you put two organizations side by side and one is coming from fear and one is coming from love. It'll look similar. But I'm going to tell you, in the long term, the army that's going to win is the ones that's doing it for the mission, not for the money. They're not here because, oh my God, if I leave, I'll never be able to pay my bills. That's not where it's coming from. What I'm telling you is that it's got to be about this love, so that instead of avoiding, you embrace the challenges. Avoidance is coming from these insecurities about the course corrections that are inevitably going to come along the way. Miss Simone Simmons was talking this weekend at this Women at Win conference about how, space shuttles are off track some massive percentage of the time. I mean, something crazy. Like most of the time, you ever been driving down a highway straight road, but your steering wheel keeps on going and then you got to correct, or then your steering wheel goes this way, you got to correct? Millionaires, you can't be insecure about course corrections. In today's environment, you only going to stay competitive if you're able to course correct, if you're able to embrace change when there's a better way that makes itself apparent. But many leaders don't realize how deep their insecurities run. And they don't realize how it plays into their managerial style. This weekend on the Kaizen Academy, we're going to talk about nothing but habits. These habitual habits, if left unchecked, these habitual behaviors, if left unchecked, I'm going to tell you, they become voids in your personality. The reason we practice personal development is because it's short for personality development. What we're looking to do is create the kind of personalities that attract success instead of push it away. We want to make it attract it accidentally instead of push it away accidentally. We want to make success inevitable instead of failure inevitable, instead of abject failure becoming inevitable. Because that's the only conclusion to this kind of behavior. You're gonna crash and burn eventually. You're on borrowed time. Millionaires, leaders who are honest with themselves and develop stronger self-awareness, they can make better decisions about not only what they need to change in order to improve, but also they can start to make 1 + 1 = 11. It's affirmation time. I should have put this phone number on the screen a long time ago, but y'all know how we go. If you never did affirmations before, come try them out. These are the same affirmations I would say when I was homeless, y'all. I was sleeping in my car, and now I'm a millionaire, And I was calling it millionaire minded before I was a million. You get what I mean? I'm telling you, try it, even if you never did. I repeat after me, millionaires. Here we go. I am so happy and grateful